Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fridays with Father. Father Gary here. We are now in the season of Stewardship of Treasure Renewal. And as you know, Stewardship of Treasure is just one of the three legs on the stool of stewardship. Really, stewardship begins with stewardship of time. That is, time with God, spending time in prayer. So that's really what roots all of our stewardship. And then stewardship of talent. That is, sharing our gifts with those throughout the community, in our parish, throughout our country. How do we give away some of what the Lord has blessed us with in terms of gifts and skills? And then finally, stewardship of treasure, because yes, also our stewardship involves finances, our own gifts of that the Lord has provided for us in money resources, in our own financial life. That is important to say it in that context because stewardship, while oftentimes we focus on what I'm going to focus on today, stewardship is much broader than that. It's really nurturing a heart of gratitude that recognizes that everything I have is a gift from God. Everything I have, especially my life and the time that the Lord has given me on this earth to really be a disciple of His and an apostle sharing the good news. And so that gift of time from the moment of our conception until the moment that the Lord takes us to Himself, that's what we have here on the earth. And so to give away a portion of that time in prayer to the Lord is the greatest gift that we can give Him. It deepens our relationship with Him, helps us to encounter Him at a more profound level. Out of that encounter, we are asked to, we are prompted to, almost like we have to give away then ourselves in gratitude to the Lord as we encounter Him ever more deeply in that time in prayer. And so we want to give ourselves away in ministries, in service here to the parish, and in service to the wider world. And so many of us, and I know many of you, most of you, do that in some way. You have a particular gift, a particular skill, whether that's cooking or writing or helping to fix a car, whatever that gift is. I know that so many of you give that gift away in service to others in your life and in service here to our parish. And then finally, the gift of stewardship of treasure. The Lord has blessed most of us with an abundance. And at this time in our economy, I know that we're all suffering under the, the difficulties of inflation and rising costs. At the same time, we have much more than most people. And so the Lord does call us to share a portion of the financial resources that He has given to us. Again, out of gratitude and to meet needs of people who are really struggling themselves. Here at our parish, we ask that you consider a tithe. So many of us are moving towards that. A tithe, a biblical tithe, is giving away 10% of our time, 10% of our talent, and 10% of our treasure. So 10% of our gross income for giving back to the Lord in thanks. So that 10%, we ask that you consider, that we consider 5% of that going to the parish and 5% going to other charities, second collections and other charities of your choice. So that's my ask again this year for you. is that you examine where you are in your own financial giving to the parish and to other charities. And if you're not at that 10% place right now, that's okay. Take a step towards it. Maybe you're like most Catholics and you're at about 1.5%. And so if that's where you find yourself, I wonder if you'd think about moving to 2% or moving to 3%. If you are already at 10%, that isn't a limit. You don't have to stop there. And so you can examine how you might give another percentage or 2 or 5% if you find yourself in that kind of financial situation. What I'm asking everyone to do this year is to take a step, and if possible, to look at your finances and examine whether you can make a 10% increase in your financial giving to the parish. Our income has been pretty flat for ordinary income, that is Sunday and Holy Day collections, has been pretty flat over the last number of years. COVID certainly contributed to that. And so if we can increase our giving to the parish by 10%, if your finances allow that, then you will help us to continue our ministries to love God, love our neighbor, and to make disciples. If you want to know how we use those resources over the past year, then invite you to take a look at the annual report, both in English and in Spanish, that were made available at Masses last week, and they're still available after Mass this week. It's a wonderful description of how your generosity allowed us to use resources in a way that advanced the kingdom of God this past year. So we're going to be talking about stewardship of treasure for the next couple of weeks. So just ask that you bring this to prayer and ask the Lord where He might be calling you to give it back in gratitude for all that He has given you. Well, that's it for this version of Fridays with Father. I look forward to seeing you this Sunday, 9 a.m. Mass in English, live streamed, 11:30 Mass in Spanish, also live streamed, and the 5 p.m. Sunday night Mass. God bless everyone. We'll see you this weekend.